Hello everybody, Super Girl 6, Unit 3, All Kinds of People. Wanna listen and discuss pages 22 and 23. Now let's take a look at the objectives. Number 1, listen to answer the questions. Number 2, read and give the meaning of the new words. And number 3, discuss the lesson. راح نسمع عشان نجاوب على الأسئلة. برضو راح نقرأ ونعطي المعنى الصحيح للكلمات الجديدة. وأخيرا راح نناقش الدرس. So the title of this unit is All Kinds of People. Please move on to pages 22 and 23. All kinds of people. 1. Listen and discuss. Before we start listening and discussing the giving pictures, let's take a look at the vocab very quickly. Now the first one is in a hurry, flyers, fake, pedal cap, tourist, backpack, hailing a taxi. And right now, let's move on to pages number 22 and 23. 3. All kinds of people. 1. Listen and discuss. Here, let's take a look at the pictures. You are supposed to compare the people and the situations in the pictures to the ones in your towns. Okay, مفروض ان احنا نشوف الصور ونقارنهم بالناس الموجودين في مدينتنا أو في منطقتنا. So let's take a look at the pictures. Now let's take a look at this picture for example. So what is the man in black handing out? Okay, what is he handing out? So he's probably handing out sales flyers. Okay, now how about this picture? Okay, so the man here obviously is selling watches. Now, what kinds of things can you buy on the street if you do not want to go into a store? إيش الأشياء اللي ممكن تشتريها من الشارع إذا مثلا ما تبغى تذهب إلى المحل. Okay, now let's take a look at this man. As I said previously, he is selling watches. So do you think that these watches are original or do you think they are fake? Okay, do they look like good watches? Okay, هل هم يبدون يعني ساعات جيدة؟ هل هم مزيفين أو original يعني أصليين؟ Now here, let's take a look at this picture. Now these, the husband, probably these two couples, they are probably tourists, okay? And the man here is probably helping them. So here I have a question for you, okay? So are there any tourists in your town or your city? هل في سياح في مدينتك أو منطقتك؟ Okay, how do you know the person is a tourist? عادة كيف تعرف أن الشخص يعني هو سائح؟ Okay, so probably when they are looking for example at a map لما ينظرون مثلا إلى خريطة or they seem for example to be lost ممكن يبدون ضائعين. Okay, now let's take a look at here. This is called a pedal cap. Okay, so if you are a tourist, what is a different kind of way to see the area? Okay, لو كنت سائح ما هي الطرق المختلفة لترى المدينة أو المنطقة؟ Okay, so this is probably a pedal cap in order to show people around the city. Okay, now here let's take a look here. So here this man is trying to steal from the backpack of this boy, but luckily there is a police in the area. So are there any police in the area? Okay, so yes there is. Okay, how do you know he is a police officer? كيف عرفت إن this is a police officer? Obviously from his uniform زيه. من الزي اللي يرتديه واضح إنه هو a police officer. Okay, so do you see anything happening that the police should stop? هل ترى شيء يعني بإمكان إن الشرطة أو الشرطي عفوا إنه ممكن يوقفه. Yes, as I said previously, a guy is trying to steal the boy's backpack. Okay, now here let's see, there is a boy who is waiting at the bus stop and he's talking on the phone. Okay, so here, can you take the bus if you live in this neighborhood? هل بإمكانك تاخذ مثلا الباص إذا أنت عايش في هذه الأرجاء؟ Yes. How do you know? There is a bus stop. Okay, as I said previously, here is a boy is waiting at the bus stop and he's talking on the phone. Now let's take a look at this picture as well. Okay, now what is the man in the suit trying to do? Okay, إيش يبدو لكم هذا الرجل اللي لابس بدلة يعني ما الذي يفعله؟ So he's trying to hail a taxi. ينادي على سيارة إجرة. Okay, now how about this man in the picture? He is looking at his watch and he seems to be in a hurry. Now, right now, we are gonna listen to impressions of a city. You are supposed to match the pictures to the descriptions below and write the letters in the circles. عندنا هنا descriptions وصف لكل الصور. مطلوب انكم تصلونها بالصورة يعني اللي مناسبة لها. طبعا وتكتبون suitable letter down below, okay, or in the circles. So right now, get ready to listen to impressions of city.
Unit 3. All kinds of people. Pages 22 and 23. 1. Listen and discuss.
Impressions of a city. A. The people who live in the city are always in a hurry. B. A man who was dressed in black was handing out flyers. C. The watches that the man was selling were fakes. D. The pedal cab that was at the side of the road is a typical attraction in the town. E. The man who is giving directions to the tourists is a guide. F. The thief was trying to steal the boy's backpack when the police officer saw him. G. A man was talking on his cell phone while he was waiting for the bus. H. The man who was hailing a taxi had to get to a business meeting.
So right now we have listened to this impressions of a city and we're supposed to match them with the correct picture. Okay, so let's take a look here. So the first one, D, which is the pedal cab that was at the side of the road, is a typical attraction in the town. Now in this picture, E, the man who was giving directions to the tourist is a guide. Now in this picture, the letter that matches it is A, which is the people who live in the city are always in a hurry. Now in this picture, as we said previously, the letter first that matches this picture is D, and as we said, a man who was dressed in black was handing out flyers. Now let's take a look at the rest of the pictures as well. In this picture A, so the man in the suit is hailing a taxi, or the man who was hailing a taxi had to get to a business meeting. F, and the thief was trying to steal the boy's backpack when the police officer saw him. Now let's take a look at this picture. C, okay, the watches that the man was selling were fakes. G, which is a man was talking on his cell phone while he was waiting for the bus. Okay, right now let's move on to the next thing, which is some questions to discuss. Now, can you see any of these things in our or your town? هل ترى أي من هذه الأشياء في مدينتك? For example, can you see tourists or a man or people who are always in a hurry or people who are hailing a taxi? Can you see any of these things in your town? Now let's move on to the next question. Which things have you never seen? أي من الأشياء لم تراها مسبقا? Okay. So if you have an answer to any of these questions, you are welcome to leave them in the comment box below. Now let's move on to the quick check. A, vocabulary. You are supposed to look at the picture for 10 seconds, then close your book, write down a list of things you saw in the street, and compare with a partner. مطلوب منكم تنظرون إلى الصور لمدة 10 ثواني، بعدها تغلقون الكتاب وتكتبون قائمة بالأشياء اللي رأيتموها في الشارع. بعدها ممكن تقارنون إجاباتكم with a partner مع شريك. Now as for the comprehension, you are supposed to match the two parts of the sentences. Number 1, the people who live in the city. So D, which is seem to have a little time. Number 2, the man was talking on the phone. E, while he was waiting for the bus. The officer who was on duty. A, saw the thief stealing the backpack. Now number 4, the man who was hailing the taxi. B, was in a hurry. Number 5, the man was giving directions. C, to some tourists who were lost. So this is the end of our lesson. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video with your friends, and hit the like button. Till next time, have a good one.